Hey guys, tonight I'm going to be teaching you about the expository pillar that we will be using as the outline for our research paper. You will notice that on Monday you're going to begin filling out this pillar and you're going to be using the information that you gathered both Thursday and Friday in class this week. So tonight I'm going to explain to you what the expository pillar is, and I'm also going to give you the main ideas that we're going to use. This right here is the expository pillar that you're going to use. Hopefully it looks familiar to you. It was used last year for you in 4th grade. This is the outline of the paper. It will be a total of 4 paragraphs when you are done. It will include an introduction paragraph, a main idea 1 paragraph that will have 4 details that support your main idea, a main idea 2 that will also have 4 details that support your main idea, and then a conclusion paragraph. So when you are done, you will have 4 complete paragraphs about your important historical event or person. When Mrs. Hartzog and I give you this expository pillar, it will look like this. This, you will notice, we've left the spot where it says introduction paragraph and conclusion paragraph because you will not actually be writing those on this page. What you will use this page for is to write your main ideas and your details when you're taking notes. We are going to give you your main ideas so that we make it a little bit easier and so that everyone is on the same track. Your first main idea is going to say, and we'll start with your person or your event, and Mrs. Hartzog and I are using Lyndon B. Johnson, so you will plug in your person's name, is an important person or event. You'll have to decide there what you will put in American history. This lets the reader know that we have chosen these people because they are important in American history. They have played a part in our lives today. You will then, so on your first main idea, all you need to do is plug in your person or event here, and then decide, am I going to say Lyndon B. Johnson is an important person or an event? So obviously I will say person. So my main idea says Lyndon B. Johnson is an important person in American history. Then what I'm going to do is use the research that I have gathered in class on Thursday and Friday to support that main idea. Remember, you know all about main idea. Main idea we've used in class was like a chair. It's the top of the chair that you sit on. The details are what support it. So each one of my 4 details must support the fact that Lyndon B. Johnson is important in American history. I'm going to use the detail that Mrs. Hartzog found and shared with you in the last video. My first detail is going to be that Lyndon B. Johnson was, I'm sorry, I'm going to change that. Lyndon B. Johnson took over as president. And actually, you know what? I'm not going to make this a complete sentence because this is notes. So I'm just going to say Lyndon B. Johnson took over after JFK was assassinated. That way, when I read this, I will know that I need to turn this into a complete sentence, but on my notes, I'm not going to spend time writing complete sentences or editing. So it just says, Lyndon B. Johnson took over after JFK was assassinated. Someone who didn't know Lyndon B. Johnson or JFK may not know what I mean he took over after, but because I'm writing the paper, I know, and so it does not have to be in a complete sentence. You will need to get 4 details that support your main idea. I'm going to move on to main idea number 2 and go ahead and give that to you. Main idea number 2 is going to talk, that paragraph, which will be the 3rd paragraph of your paper, is going to talk all about how this person displayed the habits of mind. We've talked about them in class. It makes them a good leader. So your main idea 2 will be about them demonstrating the habits of mind. You do not have to use the same sentence that I used, but you are allowed to. It is totally up to you. I am going to say Lyndon B. Johnson demonstrated his ability to be a successful leader in many different instances. In each of these, and I'll have to make this go up here so that you can see it. In each of these instances, he displays a habit of the mind. So for my main idea, I want to use various habits of mind. In my research, I found that Lyndon B. Johnson was proactive in one situation. He was thinking with the end in mind in another situation. So I want to give a bunch of details about how he displayed various habits. You may choose to just say your person displayed one habit and give me 4 details where they displayed that one habit. That is up to you, but I'm going to choose to talk about a different habit as each detail. So my first detail, I'm just going to put think, when. And remember, this doesn't have to be in a complete sentence, so I'm just going to put hard to take over after a loved JFK. Lyndon B. Johnson had a very hard time taking over after John F. Kennedy, and I know that after my research. So when I get ready to write my paper, I'm going to support this main idea that he had many of the habits of mind by talking about how he had to think win-win for America and himself when he took over after John F. Kennedy. But remember, I don't have to put that in a full sentence here because I will do that later. So tomorrow when you come, or Monday when you come to class, you will be filling in your main idea 1 and 2 and your 4 details with the research that you've already gathered. You might find that you don't have enough research for these 2 main ideas, and in class on Monday you can look for those supporting details. If you have any questions about your main ideas, we can look at those on Monday in class. If you would like to start looking at some of these details or writing these main ideas, you are welcome to do that. We'll see you guys Monday, and I hope you have a fabulous weekend.